Messages up. Live chat. There we go. Nobody in. Scrap it. Good evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. Welcome to Let's Do Lunch. Decided to do it on this channel today because more people watch. The thing is, I've got the microphone in the wrong place. Now live on your channel. Pull that across there. Just needs adjusting. Oh, let's just wait for the thousands of people to come in. Thousands and thousands. 20,000 at least today. Today we're going to break the record for the amount of people that come in. Well, Vaping Bit came in anyway, that's good. Hello, buddy, how are you doing? So that's one. We just need another many thousands, really. How you doing, Vic? Hope you're well, mate. I trust the audio's coming through because otherwise you'd have mentioned it. A beautiful sunny day here in the UK, but it's still cold. That's the way it is. I suppose it's winter. I got up this morning, it was absolutely freezing in here, so I put the heating on and I've been up for a shower, and now it is lunch break lasts for 3 minutes. It does when you cab drive it. Well, your sort of evening break lasts for 3 minutes. Sometimes could be a sandwich in between traffic lights, but we haven't quite got to that time of year yet. December's a bit of a nightmare. Hello, Mr. Anderson. How you doing? Happy lunchtime to you too. Hello, Tony. How are you doing? Nice to see you. 6 people. So you've just caught you all at the right time. Guy Stewart, how you doing? Bloody hell, 2,297. You've done well with that, mate. You've done really well. Man, you've been hammering it, haven't you? I think this is about 1450 something, I think. That's took 5 years as well. So obviously you're a lot more popular than me. I do a lot on the other one. Crowded, yeah. Seven's crowded. I do quite a lot on the other one. There's over 5,000 on that. But I use YouTube Promote to get up to there. It's doing quite well. Just to put a short up with, it's my first one that's approaching 10,000. Which is quite a lot, really. I think there's one over on here that's done more than 10,000, but that's the only one. Normally, shorts, I get 500 and that's it. But it's good, isn't it? It's amazing. And also, in this sort of industry, it's quite difficult now to build, a massive subscriber base because it seems to be normalised. Yeah, 2 years. Yeah, so you've done really well, haven't you? I mean, we started in the lockdown as well, so we were pumping it out in the lockdown. Because obviously there was nothing to do and everybody watched. So by the time we got to 1,000, I got enough watch time hours to monetize straight away. But the trouble is, you don't get monetized, do you really? Very, very few vape videos you can actually get any advertising on to make any money from. So that's why I've had my other channel about 10 years, but never really bothered with it. I think it had got 50 subscribers when I actually started to put stuff on there. And I just put other stuff on there that's not vape related. And some of it gets some really good views. But again, it needs to pump out. It's difficult because really I could do with getting some really big live streams on there to get the watch time hours up to actually get monetized properly. Because I need more. I actually need more. Twice as many as what I've got now to actually get the watch time hours to get it properly monetized. And that's my idea for the future, because I think I make 4 to 15 cents a day through YouTube. Yeah, it's only, to be really honest, it's only super chats and memberships where you really make anything. But it's amazing if you actually get a video up there. It's got the green dollar sign next to it. You can. I mean, I flipped the top off a Vaperesso pod, and 19,000 people have watched it, and it's made over 10 quid. I don't know why, because it's not green, it's amber, so I don't really know why it's made 10 quid. With no subs and about 3 views, I don't think I will get monetized a lot. Now, I think you can now, I can't remember what you can do at 500. You could do something at 500. you need, is it 500 subs and 2,000 watch time hours to put members and super chats on. But you need 4,000 watch time hours to actually put advertising on your videos. But then you've got the next criteria of each video needs to be 8 minutes long. It needs to be something that they want to advertise next to, and then it goes off from that. So it is what it is, isn't it? I just absolutely love doing it, to be really honest. It certainly through the lockdown, it saves you from absolute boredom. And then Sue went on nights for 3 years? I think 3 years. So she'd be going out to work at 9 o'clock at night on one of my nights off. So I just sort of do this. She still works while 11 at night. So I do things on a Monday night. But so the only thing is now is every single thing I put up was vape related within a day. They put the age gate on it and nobody watches it. So it's a bit pointless, really. I put a juice review up, got 24 views from 1,400 subscribers. It's pointless. Absolute waste of time. Anyway, I made some juice the other day. I've been making that cranberry shock sour for absolutely ages, and I decided I'd put some rhubarb in it instead of cranberry. I don't know if you can see that the right way around. Look at that for labelling. Fluid, eat your heart out. And so I've just started using that. I actually put it in it. I've run out of the 0.4 pods. I really love them 0.4 pods, but it's in there. It's lovely. So that's just got rid of the monetization on this stream. What I'm planning on doing, I've put a bit of weight on. And hello, John Paul, how you doing, mate? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a camera and go for a walk and do a bit of that, because that looks quite interesting. And hopefully get a bit fitter while I'm doing it. But not on this channel, obviously, because that'd be a bit of a waste of time. Not unless you stand at the end of the road and blow a big cloud. But just do something different. We did on my other channel, I did quite a few walks around in Spain. And they didn't get massive views, but at the time I think it was only on like 100 subscribers. But we're on about yesterday. The problem is with now, if you put a phone on a gimbal and walk around the city, chances are someone will try and steal it. Especially if you get around London, it'd be gone in a minute, wouldn't it, really? I'd soon have it away. I don't think we're quite straight. I've got it horizontal, so I'll get an email after. Why don't you try doing it vertical? Yes, I did get many samples out. I didn't get anything for Vapresso for a long time, and then they sent three things out within the last about 3 months, and it's surprising how many views you get on them. This was the first one, this Cross 4 Nano, and that is a lovely device. I've also got that, what did they call it? Armour G. I got the Armour G with the internal battery. That's good. And this is bloody lovely. I love this. I've just found some pods for these. 5mm pods on Avalanche Vapes. So we're not going to have to suffer the 2mm thing. But these last forever. You have to throw the pod away each time because you can't change the coil. But what a device that is. I absolutely love it, to be honest. I've been using it daily since it came, and I must have had it a month, and it's still got the same pod on it. So, but anyway, if you have got one of these and you do want a 5mm pod, the only thing is that the 0.8 and these are the 0.6. These go out from China, obviously. That's where my stuff comes from, because I've got the contact I've got of Vapresso is in China, so they come out from there. So each one comes out and it's non-TPD. But that is a cracking vape. Just done with a slightly bigger battery in it. The Armour G's upstairs, so. But this seems to be my go-to now, this mouth to lungy style thing, small things. I don't put, you don't make a load of clouds. I can use them in the cab, unless 2-tier Kia ruins that for us, which looks like it's going to happen. Well, that's right, yes. They go on about all this waste and this, that and the other, but I mean, that the problem is, it's like with disposables. If you let somebody have a 6,000 puff disposable, they're only going to throw one away every 2 weeks, whereas if you get a 400 or a 600, they're going to be gone in a day and a half. So that's your problem, isn't it, really? But yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. The thing is, what you've got is the people that are actually doing the regulating haven't got a clue, really. It seems strange over here. It makes you wonder what. Obviously, we got a new government, and all of a sudden they're sort of saying, "Oh, well, we're going to." They've put all sorts of things forward. It could end up that you can't vape in the workplace. They're going to, they could get rid of flavours. Not saying they are, but it's a possibility as it goes through the next stage. They could get rid of flavours. They could stop. They could turn it into smoking, the new smoking, and then all of a sudden there's a new pill come out to stop you smoking. So it just makes you wonder what deals they made on the way up. It's like with the farmers' union. Apparently, when they were talking to Labour before the election, the farmers' union, the Labour assured them all sorts of things wasn't going to happen. So it looks like they've all gone out and it's a typical Labour thing. Go and have a word with the unions, get all your staff to vote for us, and then we'll just shaft you after the end of it, which appears to have happened. But if the NFU have gone out and said to them, why don't you all vote for us and we'll look after you after the election, then the NFU are as much to blame as what Labour are. Anyway, if you're watching this stream, why not hit the thumbs up? Because it just gives me a sense of pride. So I don't know. I've not been using this. It's weird how they've gone from the Armour to the Armour G, and the Armour G is half the size. I don't know why they called it the same name. Why don't they just call it something else? Completely. Which is a bit of a waste of time. Did you get these out then, Vic? These Dojo things? Is that looking the right way up? Yeah. These are good. Yeah, exactly. I've just been watching, I don't know if you follow Pippa on Facebook, the Australian lady, and she's just forwarded a news conference from the Parliament in Australia, and it didn't show the context of it really. It only showed you that one person. But basically, if you own a shop next to a vape shop in Australia now, you can't get insurance because they're that frightened that they're going to blow the vape shop up and get yours as well. So their attempt at prohibition really didn't work, did it? Because basically what happened is the organised crime people took it over. So, I mean, the thing is, over here, people will always vape. There's always a way around it. You can tell people what to do as much as you want, but they're not always going to take notice of you. Certainly, as you get older, you just think, piss off. You just get sick of making another rule. And in the end, you just think, well, I just want, as long as you're not hurting anybody else. It was an interesting thing. I've never actually got on a proper show this week to discuss this with anybody, but one of my customers, a lovely guy, comes from Leeds, and sadly his mother's just died of cancer. That's got nothing to do with it. But I've seen him quite a lot because he's coming to clear the house out. But I was chatting to him and was on about e-cigarettes, and I was telling him I do a YouTube channel. I said, "There's any problem? We've got these people popping up saying, we don't know the results of it yet. We don't know what it is." I said, "Isn't it time that they actually put something in place to say, well, this is that?" Hello, Graham. How you doing, buddy? Nip over to Vape Gems and make him happy. And what he was saying was to actually, for the government or for the health service to actually say something safe, they've got to do a full, because he was a computer analyst back in the day for the health people. Hello, CC Cause. And so what they've got to do, they've got to get a section of people that vape, a section of people that vape and smoke, a section of people that, I can't remember whether they said that smoked and never vaped, and a section of people that vaped and never smoked. And then they've got to study those for a long time and then put all the results into a computer, and that works out whether we know if it's safe yet. Well, that's never going to happen, is it, really? But so that's why when the government say, well, we don't know what's in it yet, nobody can argue with them, because with the way they actually decide that we don't know what it's in it yet, it's not actually done it. Well, obviously with cigarettes, we've got many years of smoking people that don't smoke, people that have smoked, and people that, you've got all those numbers to crunch. So it would take 20 years actually to find out about whether it does you any harm or not in their way. But obviously we know that we've got bigger lungs since we stopped smoking, and we're a lot happier and you feel better. But that doesn't go down as an actual medical result. So I hope you've took notes about that, because the answers questions will be asked at the end of the thing. Why do people come in and out? That's the thing when you do it on a phone. You can actually tell people are coming in and out. So you can reach to the point where you find out that you're not interested at certain points. So if you're interested... two things. If you haven't been to the dentist yet, it's your fault. Get you sent to the dentist, get it yucked out, son. Don't be telling me you can't find one, because there'll be a private one somewhere. I'll whip it out for you for 180 quid. Hopefully he's a vapor and you can send him some coils. Look at the size of this pod. Oh, mind your finger. Oh, right. Yeah, if it's still hurting after a few days. I actually had one that was agony a few days after when I was on the antibiotics, and I went down and he started getting his injection kit together, and I thought, this isn't going to look very good. And they took it out with an abscess on it. He said, it's the only thing we can do. You can't stand that pain. And he said, it's obviously not going away. So he popped it out. Anyway, it was I could sort of feel it while he was doing it a little bit. And when he got it out, it started to pulsate. And each time it pulsated, the pain got less. And I never had a moment's bother with it ever again. It was amazing. But I was in absolute agony. I think it was one up here. The trouble is, if you've got really good teeth and you get an abscess on it, they're that well stuck into your gums. Nice. If they're that well stuck into your gums, that's why you get all that pain. Whereas when you get older and they get looser, there's not enough area to create pressure to give you a lot of pain. I've got some plastic ones in the bottom. You don't get any trouble with that. Anyway, it's still on the tea. This is a weird sort of Thursday morning. Normally on a Thursday morning, I'm hanging out my arse, and I ain't had a drink for nearly, a week and a half. And I've got no hangover. It's amazing. Oh, the joys of a brew. Hopefully these tablets will settle down really quickly, because I checked my blood pressure this morning. It was good. So we're all right. Doing a lot better. Anyway, moving on, because everybody talks about their health on the internet. So if you want to check that thing out, if you follow Pippa on Facebook, have a look at that thing that guy was on about in Australia. It was really interesting, really. Actually squaring the government up for the chaos they've created by prohibition. But they deserve it, don't they? Is anybody speaking? There we go. Okay, there's nothing worse than the tooth infection, is there? Did I miss anybody? Yeah, it's... I can't remember where you are, Guy. But there's a thing came on the... I can't think where I watched it now. I think it was on TikTok or somewhere. I sit there scrolling through TikTok, and it was on about when Frankie Goes to Hollywood released the song Relax. And I can't remember what year it was, but it was saying how many years it was since then. And obviously it was banned by the BBC, and I think it was one of their most successful songs. As I say, prohibition don't work. That's it. I don't know over here, though, to be honest. I think vaping's reached its sort of peak. Most people have got what they want to do. There's people like us that buy quite a few bits that come past. Some people just buy one device. They like one type of juice and they just don't smoke cigarettes anymore. And I think, they've never been on YouTube. They're never likely to go and watch a vape show. They're not interested in it. They just don't want to smoke fags. But they were saying nearly 100,000 people have gone back to smoking cigarettes in Australia. Whether that's true, Not bought any vape gear in ages. I'm still rocking a Desire Design Squonk mod with the recurve on it. Don't disappear on me. No, don't. That's the only thing on here. You've got to read quick. Recurve on it. My trusty old Wasp Nano. Bought a few disposables, but they're just a waste of money. Well, yeah, that's right. Now, if you were a disposable vapor, I ain't got a pod for this because the other ones are upstairs. But they sent these out. The idea being, these would be a disposable replacement because you get 12 mils of juice. You get the 2 mils in a normal tank, and I've actually done a review if you're interested in. But just have a look. Then you squash another one on the top, so you end up with 12 mils of e-liquid. It's the same juice as what comes in, pre-filled pods. There's a setting underneath where you can actually boost it a bit, give it a bit more fire, and it's the same juice that they put in disposables. I think they're about a tenner each, but you can buy just the pods on their own for about £6, I think, something like that. They're all over the place, vape clubbing all over. Just ordered the Zel2X 3. See what? I don't know what that is. Never seen it. No idea. So, makes you laugh. Vapresso sent me an email. They said, obviously it's coming to the end of the year, which isn't yet, is it? It's not December yet. But they said, if you're thinking of doing a best pods ranked or something like that, we're hoping that you're going to look at ours again and give us, your opinion on them, see if we are the best pods of the year. And I thought, well, you've sent three devices out, and nobody else has sent anything. So there's a good chance you might get 1, 2, and 3. Right. Oh, that'll do. Yeah, it'll be worth a go. That's obviously going to be the way forward, isn't it? We've just had, I don't know if I've told anybody, we've just had a massive crackdown here. There was a vape shop, a huge vape shop, that only sold disposables. Big flashy signs outside, open loads and loads of hours a day. Opened by a guy that's not English, we'll say. I'm not sure where they're from. They also had a Euro shop that's been open for a few years over here now. And straight opposite, somebody bought. There used to be an Oriental style food shop, not actually, not a restaurant or a takeaway, but they sold the stuff to cook it with. And somebody took that over, and it got the traditional LED lights all around the door and flashing and getting everybody in. Anyway, they came last Wednesday, I think it was, and now they're all three are shut for 3 months. They went to the car washes, which I don't know what country the lads are from. The other ones are English when I went in there. But they checked all their documents to make sure they were all legally to work here, and the car washes came out absolutely shining because they were all UK taxpayers. So they were absolutely fine. They went down the street and they got a full cannabis grow in one house and a load of coke. And somebody throwing the coke out the window in the next house, and the drone caught him doing it, so they went round and got him. So they had a big clean-up. And I picked this guy up in the cab, and I said, "Where are you going?" He said, "I'm going to this shop." And obviously we got there and it was closed. He says, "I don't know where I'm going to get my cheap tobacco from now." But sure enough, the guy that owns these 3 shops, he's got nothing to do with the weed in the coke, by the way. The guy that owns these 3 shops that are now closed down owns 2 more shops that were closed down for a while by him, and now they're reopened again. So that's obviously where you're going to get your vapes and your tobacco from. Got to love modern pharma companies, exactly. The thing is, we all think we're peasants, and I mean, like 50 years ago, they could get away with stuff, couldn't they? But they can't anymore. The internet, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. And the thing is with TikTok, you can't say anything bad about anybody on TikTok. I called Keir Starmer 2-tier Keir the other day, and they removed it as an aggressive comment. I did actually put snake oil salesman as well, and I was sober. I put some the other week when I was drunk, and I got a warning for that. So if you do that again, we're going to switch you off. All right, thanks. I think that had a swear word in it though. But you can't be derogatory to. You can sit there and watch somebody talk absolute crap, but you're not allowed to say anything back to them. But I can't even remember what it was about. But that's what they like, isn't it? You know, they'll when they're coming up to an election, they'll get round. That's how they did it. I watched the thing about Rupert Murdoch. Basically, the media decided when the media decided that Tony Blair was going to be Prime Minister, and somebody had got a video of him getting on Matey Boy's yacht, and that was the day it was decided that he was going to be the UK Prime Minister. So what they do, they keep putting stories out, diss all the other ones. They actually get you on their side. And you don't know they're doing it, for a start. There's a new Twitter out. I don't know if anybody's seen it. Called Blue Sky. Yeah, it is right, wage in the class war, yeah. Yeah, but it's against the people they're supposed to be looking after, isn't it, really? Yeah, there's a new Twitter out called Blue Sky. One of the guys that used to or started Twitter has started Blue Sky, and all the people are going across there. It's all as woke as fuck, like, to be honest. It's like, oh, this is a safe space. so I made an account up. I thought, well, I'm not going to follow anybody. I'm just going to sit and look. Hello, Dion. How you doing, buddy? So I thought I'll just make a post to put. How much is the blue tick on here then? The banks and major companies have a 10-year plan, if not longer. They've always had a plan, haven't they, really? I remember 2008, I wasn't doing very well. I was pretty good at spending money. I thought I was a bit flash. I had nice cars parked outside the house that I used to use once a week. All on finance. Credit card out. Every time I went on holiday, I used to upgrade the flight and think, I'll pay it off next time. In the end, I was many thousands of in debt. So all of a sudden, the banks crashed and my takings went down by 20%, 25%. I had a hell of a job. I had 2 years of absolute mayhem trying to pay off minimum payment on stuff. I was in a 5-star hotel in the September of 2007, and it came up on the news while we were in Mexico. And it said, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. And I'm like, another load of bullshit. And by February, I was struggling to get the money together to pay for the car because it was on finance as well. I owned nothing and owed a fortune. Anyway, lady looked shone on me and I got my PPI back and squared it all up. So I've always made sure I've never got myself in that state again. I've got a mate who's pretty good with money, and he said to me, he says, trouble with you, he says, you work for a bank. I said, no, I don't. I'm self-employed. He says, every week you work for a bank. He says, you're paying interest and making payments and all this crap. He said, work for you. He said, don't work for the bank. And I think he's right. I said, just recently, it's been a bit difficult. The work's gone down a little bit, whether it's just a quiet month, but it's been a little bit hard work. If you can't buy it outright, don't get it. Yeah, that's right. The way I use credit cards now is I use them for the insurance. You book a flight on a credit card, you're going to get it back if they go bust. You buy an item on a credit card. I tend to buy a lot of stuff on Amazon because it's 100% returns anyway. But even if you didn't get on, if they didn't give you it back, you get it back through your credit card company. And that's the way to use it. The only trouble is nowadays, if you use a debit card to buy a flight, it's the devil's own job getting your money back if it goes wrong. I've got money back for extra legroom off an aeroplane that never flew because they'd gone bankrupt 6 months before. Good ice scraper. Yeah, they are. They're all right for putting in when you go into a hotel and you have to put the key card in. They're good for you putting in there. Sometimes you need them. I suppose if there was something you wanted and you got half the money now and it was a good deal, buy it then and then pay it all off the month after. But don't. I was one of these where I used to bring them up. Can you put my credit limit up? Why? Because I've spent all that. I need some more. But what you don't realise is everybody's got a number. They work out what your number is and they'll lend you up to that, and it'll take you 30 years to pay it back. Or it'll take you 30 years. You'll be paying the interest on it for 30 years and you'll still own the initial amount. And that's the way credit cards work. At one bit they went up to 25% interest, didn't they, with the interest rates going up. I think they've just reduced it a bit now. But they're good. They're good for what you use them for. I had an American Express charge card for a while, but they seem to have scrapped them now. And the benefits on them are quite amazing. You could just walk into airport lounges and stuff like that. They've got an Amex lounge, isn't there? Oh, yeah, of course they do, yeah. Yeah, but my pension's no good, really. I've got a private pension. It's a waste of time. It's just a waste of time. And I don't really want to take it all out and give them 10 grand of it, but it'd be better in my bank than it would in theirs. Because, you put it there, put it in an ISA, you'd make a bit of money off it. But the way it's looking, you'd have to live for 50 years to actually get your money back. But you can take 25%, I think, can't you? Tax-free. Might just do that. Put that in an ISA. It'd be nice to look in the bank and see some money. It's not really happened this year. But there we are. Anyway, well, 31 minutes. I think I better go. What are we on? 1:15. My wife's gone to my daughter's, which is about 5 miles that way, and left her phone here. I can imagine she's best investment. Well, yeah. The trouble is, it's too expensive to bloody buy. I've not got that much money. Well, I ain't got any, technically. Well, I think you're right, really, but it's where you put it after you've got it. You want somebody to knock the bloody window in and then they take it all, and that's all your money, isn't it? I think ISAs, if you put enough in them, you'll make a few bob at the end, and at least they're safe from you pilfering them halfway through. I think it's surprising, if you've got some money in the bank, you will do more than what you'd do if you ain't got any in the bank. Yeah, catch you later, guy. Nice to see you, buddy. So I've got to go as well. I've got to go to work. I've also got to charge this phone up. I like to go out with 100% on it, because if it's quiet, I use it all day, every day, watching videos and listening to podcasts. And I never actually turn the radio on now in the car. And when I was younger, I used to listen to it for the whole time I was in there. But I never do now. Just have the earpiece in. With it being YouTube Premium, you can just switch the screen off and listen to it as a podcast. Wait, on the RAC, why? Were you stuck at the side of the road? Go live. Diss them. No, I don't put the radio on now. I turned it off in lockdown, because even the presenters were going on about it. How made you one in that? He parked at the side of the road then, or is it home start? That's the trouble now, and there's that many bloody ding-dongs. That Skoda of mine, ding for this, dong for that, drives you bloody mad. Oh, home start. That's not so bad, at least you're sitting in the house. My brother's he smashed himself up on a motorbike when he was 19. I think he was in the RAC. And it was weather like it is now about 4 or 5 years ago, when the car broke down and he rung him up. And 6 hours later, he was sat there with hypothermia nearly. And me and my other brother were like, well, why don't you ring us up? We'd come and fetch you. He said, I got to the point where I'm just going, oh, yeah, all right. And just listening to the shit. Technically, he's disabled. Right. That's a waste of time, isn't it, really? I'm pleased you're not sat at the side of the road. Won't it drive them? Can't you get it to the dealer? Is it a mobility car? Well, they are, aren't they? I mean, when you used to see a bloke, the AA bloke, and a mobility, yeah. I could ring them up again and say, well, what you want to do is ring Motability. They'll be there then, within a shake of a lamb's tail. There'll be somebody there, I can assure you. They just think that they can do as they like until you actually take them to task. That one of my brothers, it was just a normal car, because he was still, it was working like just a normal car. But, obviously you can work with a leg disability, because he was office worker. They've run that as well. Oh, right. Well, it's a disgrace, isn't it? You can't get out of the house because your mobility car's buggered. My mum had an accident in hers. She pulled a little bit out of her junction, and somebody it touched a car that was coming past. I think that the lady, what was driving the other car, had slightly cut the corner. It was in a supermarket car park, and they were really good with them. They got a new car out there the next day. She says, you might as well take it away. I can't drive it because it was much bigger. And she's 18, she's in her late 70s at the time. But they were really, really good. And they got it back pretty quick. Got told. Oh, yeah. Excellent. So it'd be 10:30 then. Did he say, was it PM? That's ridiculous, isn't it, really? It's a mobility car. It's mad. Anyway, better go. I'll take the wife's phone and get myself some money made. I've got 8 minutes then. So get back on the phone in 8 minutes and say it's not here yet. And I need to go out. Right, catch you all soon. Lovely. Thanks for coming in. If you could give us a thumbs up on the way out. I'm not really sure why, but it just makes me feel famous. And we'll catch you all soon. Ciao.